Hello again. I'm Marty Janeski, and along with my good friend Ken Montroy, we are your host of the Wyandotte's Local Sports Wrap-Up. Today is June 8th, and we are, Kenny's back.
Yes, had a little hiatus.
That was nice. 3 weeks of vacation. Nice.
Thanks. For you or for me?
Well, we had a couple of guests here. Well, your
Okay.
job's safe. Okay.
I heard your daughter was in here.
She was here last week.
Now, that's quite
yes.
cool.
She talked about what it takes to be a volleyball player or a softball player for the high school.
Well, she would know, because how does it feel for a parent to pay for that?
Yes.
You should express those.
Yes. Well, volleyball is relatively inexpensive,
Is it?
except for the camps they make you go to. $600 for 8 weeks.
You got to get notarized. You got to get that notary, right? I mean, you have to get
Coach has to evaluate you. Right. That's pretty much what
get a stamp on you. Another $100, I put 2 stamps on her.
That's how that works. Yes. And softball is, they start training in February. They start early. Anyway, let's start with softball.
All right.
Unfortunately, our Wyandotte Roosevelt team got eliminated in the regionals, the district semis, if you want to call it. Tough game. It was 3-2 in 8 innings.
8 innings?
Yes, yes. They come out the gate with a base hit and a home run. Okay? Who hit the home run? I had it highlighted here. I'm so sorry, everybody. Fred Tigello, Madi Gonzalez got on base, and she hit a 2-run bomb, and immediately Carlson changed pitchers. Right after that.
Wise decision.
Yes, and the other girl held them scoreless.
Scoreless.
Oh, it was
7 innings.
They got 1 hit and 3 walks, and the other girl struck out 16 batters.
Oh my!
So, and that's 7 2/3 innings. So They came out the gate with 2 runs, but couldn't.
As a coach, do you think that was a good move?
It is, in hindsight, yes. And
Right.
Carlson, to their credit, went on to beat Monroe.
Oh, so they kept it going.
Right, and the games now today they're doing all the district finals. I mean, all these teams won districts, but now they're trying to get to states, and that's happening right now over at Woodhaven. Carlson's got in the mix with Allen Park. They beat Bedford, Temperance Bedford, 3-2 after defeating Wyandotte 3-2.
Nice.
So
nice.
They're playing today. They're playing at 10 o'clock. They're playing right now. And good weather today. A lot of games got canceled last Saturday.
I'm surprised you're here. You should be golfing. Do you golf?
Yes, we'll talk golf later. So anyway, they're on their way. They're competing in as I said, Allen Park. Allen Park won their 14th straight district title.
14th straight district? 14 years in a row?
They are solid.
Wow.
They are solid.
Good coaching. I wonder if it's
and
the
there
same
wasn't
coach.
even they slapped Etzel Ford 10-0. And then in the other semifinal, they slapped Melvindale 10-0. So
Wow.
2 mercy games. And Allen Park's in that mix with Bedford.
That ought to show you it's not only good hitting, timely hitting, but good pitching.
Allen Park has been solid for all the years that I've known.
Me too. Actually, there was a Norma, I forget her last name, but she was there for many years. Very good coach.
Yes, that's part of it.
Well, we got this guy from Woodhaven. His name is Clarence Corbett. My father's name is Clarence, so it caught my attention right away. And of course, being from Woodhaven, who seems to be solid in every aspect of the sports department over there. But he won the state shot put, and that in itself is pretty impressive, because if he chooses to go to college, which I hope he does, he will get a good scholarship. I would think, anyway. But on the Wyandotte side, we also had in a pole vault, which I don't even think of those because I never pole vaulted in the school. Did we have pole vault in school?
Oh, it was there.
It was there?
It was there.
Oh, okay, well, I missed that practice. Well, we had Thomas Kirby. He was 23rd in the discus, but in the pole vault, you had Travis Pritt. He finished 23rd also in 110 meter hurdles. Pretty impressive, though, just to be at the state.
Right, because he
finals.
got there finishing second in the districts.
In a district?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Top
So they
two.
took the top 2?
Yes. Yes.
Good for
And
him.
He got there last week.
Good for him.
In second, and he just missed. He had a third in the 400, I think, meters hurdles or the 200, but he made it for the hundreds.
That must have been last week?
Yes.
Oh, I missed that
And
show.
all that's going on. They got more going on too. You know, speaking of Woodhaven being solid, their baseball team won the districts.
Oh.
Yeah, this Colin Tchaikovsky. Yeah, Tchaikovsky. They were top ranked, by the way, Woodhaven. They're the strongest team downriver. They beat Temperance Bedford 8-0 on Monday. This kid, Tchaikovsky, he signed with the University of Michigan. He went the distance on Monday. They played on Monday because it rained on Saturday. 2 hits and 2 walks over 7 innings, striking out 9 kids.
Wow. Nice.
You know, so you know he's got an arm.
Yes.
If the University of Michigan's signing him, you know he's got an arm.
And a future.
And a future. He also went, he got on base 3 times. He had a double and 2 walks.
Oh, so
So-
he can not only can pitch, he can hit.
Yeah, until they tell him he can't. You know, that's the bad part about it.
Well, that's where the coach comes in and says, son, I need to talk to you. You were big in high school, but you're in college now.
Yes, yes, yes.
On the other side, we have the Downriver League softball, and they're playing today at 10 o'clock. So this game's already going on. Gibraltar Carlson's playing Allen Park. But in baseball, I guess on the 3rd and the 5th they played games, but on the 3rd, Woodhaven won 8-0 over Bedford.
Okay.
Allen Park beat Melvindale 1-0. That
Oh,
had to
wow.
be an interesting game. Some people like offense, some people like defense. I always like defense, but only because one run can change a game. When you get offense, you got to get 3 rounds and 4 runs.
Yeah, think about like hockey. Everybody says a 1-0 game is boring.
Oh.
I love the 1-0 games. You know, the 2-2 games where the next bounce of the puck could change the whole outlook.
Absolutely.
You know,
Deflection.
1-0. I sat through some of them playoff games for the Wings when they were, you know, tied going into overtime and all that. I think nothing like watching a 1-1 game, a 0-0 game going through. The next bounce, the next pass could mean everything.
That brings up a memory of mine from you.
One you haven't killed?
No, that one's still floating around.
All right.
This one was the Lions. You were at Lions game, and they had a very big comeback, and they scored with like 2 seconds left in the game, and all they had to do was kick the extra point,
Yes.
and they missed the extra point.
No, they snapped it past the holder.
Oh, well.
Was what happened. The guy went to catch it, and he missed it.
And he
And
missed it.
so then they were on scramble mode, and that was it. And they might have scored with no time left because I'm not sure they even had the opportunity to kick off.
Right, but you said the whole place just deflated.
Oh, you go from total elation, total like, yes, still not, it is the Lions, you have to understand.
Oh, yeah.
But total elation, 60,000 people at Ford Field going nuts to, oh.
Boy, all the beer breath that went around on that one. But in baseball, on the 3rd, which would be, I'm not sure which day, maybe Monday. Woodhaven beat Bedford 8-0. I already said this. Allen Park beat Melvindale 1-0. On the 5th, Woodhaven won 11-0, and then Trenton won 4-3 over Huron.
So they're going to meet. They're going to meet this probably today or tomorrow.
Correct. Well, they got Woodhaven versus Saline, and Trenton versus Divine Child. That's going on today.
Cool.
That's a bingo card.
Tiger baseball draft, Major League Baseball draft went down.
Yes. What do you think?
I went to the game last night.
You did?
Yeah, it was
Any
a
of the
good
draft
game.
choices there?
The kid that he drafted was there. He'll be there all
Nice.
weekend, and he was taking batting practice earlier and bombing them into the right field seats. It's a lefty. So he's got a good arm. He's a good player. Apparently, you know, it's a high school kid. You know, a little seasoning he might need, a little strength he might need, but he's a stud. Florida? They draft that kid from Florida?
I think it is Florida.
Yeah, where he gets to play baseball all year round, you know, so they obviously get better. The California kids are usually pretty good too.
Correct.
Not that ours aren't
Well, they get to
good.
play more often.
Right. I mean, we got Gibraltar Carlson grad Zach Kahn, he got drafted by the Yankees.
Nice.
Now, 21st round, 600th overall, 645th overall, but still, he got drafted. And he's pitching right now for Central Michigan. So he's a right-hander, 5'3", probably throws.
5'3".
He was 5'3". I'm sorry. He's
say,
6'4".
Guy.
He's 6'4".
Oh, okay.
The Yankees like them guys that can bring it. So I'm sure he can bring it because they like those guys that can bring it. He's solid, and when he was, for the Chippewas, got a .4 ERA. I mean, a 4-point ERA.
Division I school.
Yeah.
And they play talent. It isn't like they're Division III or nothing against those schools, please. Division III or Division II.
And at Carlson, when he was a senior in 2016, he had 97 strikeouts. He had an ERA of 0.9.
0.9. Wouldn't you love to be the kid that got the hit off him or
yeah.
knocked in the run?
And 59.1 innings of work. Okay, he was 6-2, and then he hit 300.
Wow.
So he was solid. He was a solid athlete back then, and he's solid now, obviously, because he's competing against other college-age kids.
And that was kid that was at the game last night?
No, this is the Carlson kid that
Carlson
the Yankees grabbed.
Oh, the Yankees grabbed.
Tiger game was fun till they brought the relievers in.
Well, the Tigers had drafted that Mize. I forget his first name, the pitcher. That kid threw a no-hitter already down in
Oh, no kidding.
Division III, I believe, when he started out. But, yeah, so the pains of today are the promises of tomorrow.
That's how it works. They have to learn, and they have to.
That's what my father said when he hit me. I promise you won't do that again.
He was probably right.
Yeah.
My, how times have changed.
What else we got here?
I got some Allen Park highlights that we all love to read. The Lyric Spears and New Boston's Ellie Fishner, they both finished second at the state track finals.
Lyrics Spears?
Lyric Spears.
Lyric.
Brittany's little sister.
Oh.
No.
Wow. I was going to say, she's doing well.
She was runner-up in the long jump, Lyric Spears was.
Nice.
She finished with a distance of 18 feet, 7.5 inches.
Wow.
And
18 feet, 7.5 inches.
And was 3 inches behind first place. So you get a running start and you go. And she just missed out on all state honors in the 100-meter hurdles because she got a 9th place finish. And the top 8 in each division get all state. It even works that way when the bowling finals come along. If you can get by the first round and you're the top 8, you become all state.
Oh, nice.
The other ones get honorable mentions, So anyone who finishes in the top 8. So not only could she run and jump, she could run.
Well, I always thought that when we were in school. You got a picture of that young lady jumping the hurdles there?
Yeah, running in the meet.
I always thought that would have been cool if we'd have had that like in elementary school. Because when we were kids, we used to throw snowballs at cars.
No.
Oh, yeah. No. And sometimes they would get out of their car. And you needed to hurdle that fence. So you learned a trick where you just put your body right on it and flip right over and keep running. Where the bigger kids couldn't do that because they were too tall and too lanky. So
those guys throw
the ones that were driving.
Those guys throw the shot put.
That was. So, yeah, I always thought it'd be kind of cool to hurdle.
Throwing snowballs at cars.
Well,
you heard.
I heard.
Somebody told you once?
Someone told me
Also,
once.
for Ellie
I've been
Fishner,
chased.
for the New Boston girl, she was runner-up in the long jump in the D2.
D2,
Allen
Division
Park
2.
was D1, yes. And her distance was 17 feet 11.25 inches.
Gosh, that's a ton.
Is only a foot behind Division 1. And but she lost by a foot. She lost to the champion. She was 18-10.
She lost by a foot.
Well, 17-11.
So that's how they land, right?
Yes, yes. And whatever.
Well, I could understand how'd she lose by a foot. They land on their feet, right?
Well, sometimes their butt touches, and if their butt touches, they take the
Oh.
closest. They take the closest spot. Whatever you just
Wherever
disrupt
you
the dirt.
touched.
The dirt gets just they level it all out. They make a real nice landing area. They take a running start. Now they try to land and fall forward.
Right.
But if your butt touches,
So that girl lost by a foot.
It was the second year in a row that this young lady from New Boston, Ellie Fishner, she earned all-state honors in the long jump. As she was 6th last year, so that gave her an all-state opportunity.
Good for her. Good for her. I hope it gives her a scholarship, but that's what we're really wanted.
They will
young
need
ladies.
passion, yes. Paying for college is a difficult thing for those that, you know, you make sacrifices. We all do for our children, and, you know, we either take out a loan or you chip away at it. I know my daughter's at U of M, and mom and stepmom are, and dad and mom
A bunch of people
are working overtime.
I don't have my hat with me. We do a collection because they definitely need it.
I missed you.
Oh, thank you. I missed you too. Except that them lobsters were pretty good in Maine. They, I can't believe I ate lobster 2 times a day for like 3 days.
Was it economical to eat it out there?
Oh, they have a thing.
You know, because
No, again, like I said, my creditor's gonna hate me. No, it's I don't know, it's
Market
30,
price.
it's $36 for a lobster, I think it was.
I think it's no different here.
And I get the lazy lobster. That's where they take and they'll bust up all the lobster for you. And then all you do is the meat.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, that was the best. Now, my wife Teresa, she got a regular lobster to where it's upside down. You got to eat the inside, and then you get to turn it over and see what you ate. It's just a pretty
Too much
nasty
work?
looking thing, let me tell you.
Too much work?
I would have no pleasure in eating something like that. I just wouldn't. So when they took all the meat out of that lobster and put it on it, looked great. Dip it in butter. It's wonderful, tasty. I'm not going to eat looking at something like that.
How's the countryside in Maine?
It's called the Pine Tree State because the mountains and the pine trees, and they fall and the cones, and all of a sudden you got all these pine trees, and there's a gazillion pine trees. It was really nice, real interesting. One toll was $23. You went through a mountain. I suppose that would help defer the cost of the.
Because this says, having traveled all over this country for bowling and other things, it is a beautiful country. You get in your car and you just go. You will. I mean, except for that part in the Midwest that's flat as could be. You start getting into the mountains. It's an interesting view out your back window. If you know, my cousin moved to Arizona. She has mountains in the backdrop. You know, we have water here at the Great Lakes. People don't realize how lucky you are to have water right there just to look at. There's
at
a
your
lot of
beck
parts
and
of this
call.
country, they're a long way from a lake.
That
you
is
know?
correct. You know, they said, and I believe this, but they said that nowhere in Michigan are you farther than 7 miles from a lake
Pond of
or
some
water.
sort?
Yep.
A river or lake.
Yep.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
So what you got over there? Got anything else? Excuse me, to talk about?
I got something from the PRCUA, and I hope I don't mess it up too much. But Frank Tanana, do you remember Frank Tanana?
He ended up with Tiger. Did we win a World Series or just a pennant with him?
We were in pennant 87.
Okay.
He was very instrumental.
That was when we
year.
got. Yes.
And he used to play for the California Angels. Back then it was California Angels.
Right.
But
right.
he was a hard throwing pitcher.
And
Fastball.
a local boy.
And a local boy, absolutely. He went to. Oh, here we go.
I think he went to
Divine Child, maybe? No, Catholic Central.
Catholic Central.
I believe you're right,
Detroit
Catholic
Catholic Central.
But it's in print here that he went to St. Cunegunda School in Detroit for elementary school where he played ball. But being there, he met Wallace Orzog, who is the president of the PRCUA. And he was his coach. So ever since then, Frank's been coming back trying to help out the PRCUA in any way possible. And I think that is really helpful that he is such a kind enough man to help out someone who helped him out whenever he was coming through. I think that's what makes life, gives life taste.
You think Tanana runs like baseball camps for pitchers, or did he? And now he's probably up there in age. He probably doesn't do any of that kind of stuff.
My brother played against him, so he's probably 65, 66.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's up there a little bit in age, but I would assume he had a pitching clinic because he threw out his pitching arm when he was a couple years in the majors, and an all-star, actually. And then He had to throw a curve. That
He
went-
learned to, he learned to
Good light.
adjust.
Right.
Because the 90-mile-an-hour heater,
Went to a
which they
68.
couldn't even record back in the 60s.
Correct.
They didn't
Correct.
have radar. They didn't have local radar. It was
Right, they had
just
radar.
Point a gun. Now you go
I
to,
saw radar and mesh. So yeah, they had radar.
so you go and like when I umpired, when these hard throwing kids for Trenton and like Avery for Taylor,
Correct.
there'd be 10 scouts in the back, and every pitch,
I know.
you know, the guns would come up every pitch, you know, and then they'd write down what they had. And, you know, he had a fine career. But those guys are one in a 1,000 that
More
come
than that.
along. Yeah.
But yes, it was. But it's nice that he comes back. It's nice he helps out, and it's nice that it's local.
Right.
That's a benefit to everybody downriver. So I think that's great. Come on back, Frank. We're missing you. As a matter of fact, I think I can hit your curveball
Now, yeah,
now.
because he's 65.
Now he's 65. Unfortunately, I'm 60 myself. Hey, what do you think
Oh,
of my
that's
shirt?
funny. That's funny, too. It's a typical Ken shirt.
Well, I thought it was kind of ironic. This is a flower shirt, and in the 60s, I lived in the 60s, and they had flower childs. Well, now that I am 60, I can wear a shirt from the 60s, and it's kind of
Oh, there you go.
goes together. I think that
Well,
was
sport
kind
coat
of.
would,
I was thinking
sport
about
coat
that
would
this
set
morning.
that off. The little sport coat, that would set that whole outfit off.
You know how warm it'd be in here?
They asked Will Chamberlain once, you know, if he played in today's NBA, how much, you know, what would his stats be? How could he score? And he said, I could probably do 30 points. And the guy said, wow, that's not very, you know, good for Will Chamberlain, you know. And he says, well, dude, I'm 60 years old, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. Never took that in consideration.
Right,
did you?
right.
Too funny though. Let me see. We got some news from the.
A lot of districts going on. Well, states finals, district eliminators to get the states going on, as it is June 8th. And they're all playing today. There's a lot going on. I think you have some of that there. I'm not sure.
So we don't blame you if some of you missed the show. We understand there's a lot going on.
It'll play all week.
Oh, okay. Catch the reruns. Do we get residuals for that?
I think
Okay.
8 years, after 8 years.
After 8 years. Well, prior to Friday night, Division II semifinals, Flat Rock had beaten Trenton 3-0. Pitcher Sarah
Yeah.
Cop
Gonna
with
to talk to our editor about
she
her
had a
handwriting.
complete game. I know. I'm sorry, Caroline. But anyway, she had a pitcher shutout. Very nice, very nice. 3-0. Today, yes, you have Trenton against Divine Child, but now it's in baseball. Trenton had won 2-0 over Grosse Field and advanced to play Huron. Trenton won 4-1 over Huron. And the girls soccer, Trenton won 3-2 over Huron. Boy, Huron's taking a beating. Sorry about that, Huron. Divine Child won 4-0. That was prior to Thursday. Now, you know, we get a lot of this information from this gentleman, Frank Wojciechowski or something like that.
Not that we steal your info, Frank, but you're helping us a lot. How would you like to come on and talk about your job?
That would be great because, Frank, you could tell it instead of us. And you might get it a little straighter. But we do appreciate your help.
We do use the Mellis. We do use websites. I went on Michigan high school sports results today. I tried to print up as much as I could. Let's talk something local, the Wyandotte Boat Club. You know, the Wyandotte Boat Club and the rowing.
Oh, that is
Right?
correct.
Let's
That
see,
is
which
correct.
direction are we facing? Right over there across the street. The Wyandotte Invite is next week, June 15th.
How does that work?
They'll invite a bunch of other boat clubs. You know, I'm not sure. I don't have a list of who's showing up.
So is that like you invite me to a wedding, I have to give a $100 gift?
No.
So do
This
they
is
have to pay
rowing.
to
This
get in
is
there?
rowing. This is rowing competition.
Oh, so nobody has to
Oh, I'm
pay?
sure they enter. I'm sure they have to
Oh, I was
enter.
going to say, the trophy, who's going to buy the trophy? I know you know about trophy
I know a
costs.
guy they could get it
Yeah,
from.
that's right.
We won't plug my shop. But the Wyandotte Invite is the 15th, next Saturday. The Grand Regatta is June 22nd, and the Detroit Regatta is June 29th off of Belle Isle. So that's, you know, they're going to be rowing, that little club's going to be rowing their butts off. And I think the adult rowing, I have something on adult rowing. We can, who can participate? Anyone over the age of 21. If you've always wanted to row, or if you rowed as a youth, then you should sign up for this if you want to get back in the water. Now you might weigh a little more than you did as a youth.
Hey, who's the chubby guy on the side?
The cost is $130, and you'll get it. That covers your fees, a T-shirt, and a barbecue at the end. You practice Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 to 8, and Saturday, 7 to 9 in the morning. Now that's better because it's calmer at 7 in the morning out there on the water.
Yeah.
The practices are held rain and shine. So contact the boat club, www.wyandotteboatclub.com, or look up a number, 284-5560. That's 734-284-5560. If you want to row and you're an adult, Wyandotte Boat Club will gladly have you out there.
Oh, yeah. It'll be like baseball. You show up, and they're going to go, listen, you're a little too big. We don't have first baseman here. You're not. We need all the skinny kids. The boat's only so big.
And there's some.
That's not how it works?
There's some. That is probably.
I brought money.
Well, money talks.
Money.
We have volleyball clinics going on, beach volleyball clinics, July 15th through August 7th, 4 weeks over at the waterfront. Boys and girls aged 10 to 14. You'll learn the fundamentals of volleyball. That's $20. If you want to get your youth started in volleyball to see how they'll do, if they take a passion, again, you can't teach passion. So if your kid takes a passion for that sport, you should probably steer them in that direction. Don't be the parent that forces your kid to play football because you played football and the kid doesn't like football.
I agree.
If he takes a passion to it and loves football, then hey.
He'll take a passion to cleaning out the garage, I'll tell you that.
That's right. And then there's the 4-on-4 volleyball tournament up the street, same place. That is going on June 26th. And there's also one on July 31st and August 7th. You got to have 4 people, and the cost is $100 per team. That's open to all high school students. Again, you can do pulsesportsclub.com, and you can get contacted in there if volleyball is your thing. One more thing to talk about. Our guy behind the screen,
guy.
Calvin.
Calvin.
Calvin's 17, and he does a show here every couple weeks. Our controllers in the back, they rotate. Calvin comes in every now and then. He got a scholarship to the Motion Picture Institute, $7 or $8 grand. The kid's already made a movie. He's young. He's very good at what he does. He can do any role in filmmaking, directing, acting, script writing, but all the movies he works on, Calvin's the editor. Oh. And he's really good at our show, and he's really good here, obviously. 17, he's getting a scholarship for the Motion Picture Institute.
Well, the way I see it is, bye, Calvin. Because he's moving on.
He is moving on. Good for him. That'll do it for this week's show. It's June 8th. Ken, great to have you back.
Good job, Marty.
We'd love to have you back, and we will see you next week. We should have some state results for anyone involved, and we'll try to keep you informed, and hopefully we'll get a guest on here, maybe Frank, maybe the golf coach. Well, maybe Jake can talk about the season and come back.
Fantastic. Remember, the Belmonts run today, Bourbon of War. Everybody, you guys likes bourbon? Bourbon
How'd your horse do on the Derby?
You got disqualified, that mug.
For everyone that's watching, hi, Mom. Thanks a lot, and we will see you next week on your local sports wrap-up.
Unless you vote us off.